What is good, YouTube? Matty Dubs here, back with another video, guys. And we have some breaking news, highlights, observations from day 2 of 49ers training camp. And today was a very interesting day. We got some really good news, and we also had some players actually not play so well. But the major news is Brock Purdy is ready to go, looks 100% healthy, and things are looking up for the 49ers. Even though it was a rough practice day for the offense, things are looking good because now they have all 3 quarterback options to fight for that #1 job come regular season time. So that alone is very enormous for the future of this team going forward. Before we get into everything else in the video, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, join the family, because I will be covering the 49ers and the rest of the NFL with daily content. But without any further ado, let's get into the video and talk about some of the good things of day 2. Now, the first thing was Tashaun Gibson looks to be, or projected to be, the starting safety of this team going forward. Had a beautiful interception that he returned for a touchdown versus Brock Purdy, I believe on the second pass of the day, which was huge. I don't even think Brock Purdy even saw him, so made a great play there, and he continued to make great plays throughout the entirety of the day. And then another one of his DB members, Samuel Womack, is a guy who had a great day as well. He kind of broke out, targeted 4 times, but only allowed 1 catch to Deebo Samuel, and that's Deebo Samuel, one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. You're going to give that up every once in a while. So he's a guy in Samuel Womack. I feel like he's a guy who could potentially even steal a job, win a job, and become, the starting cornerback for this team. You look at a guy like, Demonador Lenore, a guy like him. I feel like if he continues to struggle a little bit, I feel like Samuel Womack is a guy who could definitely steal that job, especially if there's like an injury or someone misses a couple of weeks during training camp. I feel like Womack is a guy who could, be a plug-and-play starter, but instead of being a plug-and-play, he's going to be the full-time starter. I feel like he could win a job. So that's something to look forward to. And then another big question mark along this defensive line was how they were going to come together and if they were going to be productive together. Javon Hargrave coming over here, already amazing, getting to the quarterback early and often. I think he beat Aaron Banks on a quick little play, got to the quarterback for a sack on in 11 on 11s. And then there was Javon Kinlaw, a guy who they drafted, they value highly, and he got in early and often, made some big plays in the backfield, stuffing the run. So he had a really good day. And then Drake Jackson, another young defensive end, had a good day as well. Set the edge very nicely. And I think he had a big play stuffing Christian McCaffrey on a loss, so that's big. And when you look at this defensive line right now, I mean, you got Nick Bosa, you got Javon Hargrave coming over from Philadelphia, Eric Armstead, Drake Jackson, Javon Kinlaw. I mean, there's so much talent within this defensive line, and they're just going to continue to get better and better as the weeks go by. So that is something we need to look forward to. Drake Greenlaw looked good as well. Believe he stopped McCaffrey for a 5-yard loss on a run, so he is very vocal in that linebacking core, but he's also very smart, great IQ, can stop the run at a high level. So he's looking good. And then Brandon Aiyuk, a guy who I believe can make a leap into being a top 10, top 15 wide receiver in all of football next year. And Deebo Samuel actually came out and said, listen, the confidence that he has right now is unbelievable. And, once you have that confidence in the NFL, you're almost unstoppable. And I feel like Brandon Aiyuk is going to take that leap. He's going to become one of those guys who can just make any catch at any time. Wherever the ball is placed, he can go up and get it because his catch radius is, insanely good. But then, enough of the good. Let's talk about a little bit of the bad. Charvarius Ward is a guy who, got burnt deep a couple of times. It allowed a couple of touchdowns, first by Juwan Jennings, and then I believe Deebo Samuel beat him as well. So, he needs to be a little bit better. Or, like I said earlier, Samuel Womack is a guy who could potentially just steal a job. So that's potentially in the air. I don't think he'll take Ward's spot. I think Ward has been good for a while, and I think he'll keep the job. He just needs to, get the rust off a little bit. And then Ty Davis Price, a running back who, they kind of liked, a 3rd-round pick back in 2022, has, unfortunately been beaten out for him by Jordan Mason, Elijah Mitchell, and obviously Christian McCaffrey are in front of him right now in the depth chart. So I guess Ty Davis Price isn't even a lock to make the team at this point. He's going to have to be better. He's going to have to just be more consistent if he wants to make this team. But overall, not a bad day of training camp for the 49ers. I feel like obviously the defense won, and When you're so early in camp, the defense is going to win a lot of the battles just because it's so early. There's so much rust on the offense. They got to build their chemistry together. They got to get it going. And, the defense is always going to win camp early and often. So that's what happened here today. Let me know in the comment section down below, who do you think is someone that can break out here for the 49ers next season? Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, join the family, turn on post notifications so you're notified every time we go live for a game and every time we post a video. But with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Today's video is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. And if you love playing fantasy sports like football, basketball, baseball, and so many other sports, but also love being able to win money, you're going to want to stick around for this whole segment. Introducing Underdog Fantasy, the ultimate platform for fantasy sports lovers. Do you want to experience the thrill of drafting your team and competing for huge prizes? Well, look no further. With Underdog Fantasy, you get access to a wide range of fantasy sports, including football, basketball, baseball, and so much more. But here's what makes Underdog Fantasy stand out from all of those other apps. They've got quick and user-friendly drafting process, a unique and exciting game formats, fair and competitive contests for all skill levels, and attractive bonuses and promotions. Not only can you draft teams and compete with others, but you can also play a game of higher and lower, which is personally my favorite thing to do on there, but you can potentially win 20 times the money you put down. And if you use code MattyDubs when you sign up, Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100. And what that means is basically when you deposit, let's say $100, they'll give you a free $100 to use and play with. Click the link in the description to get started, or head to the website right now to start dominating the fantasy world. And don't miss out on all the fun. Be a part of the Underdog community starting now. And don't forget, if you use code MattyDubs, they'll match your first deposit up to $100. Let's get started. Get into drafts with me starting today.